Greetings, ladies. This is Kathy Washira, Lady in Waiting channel. Welcome, and I'm very glad to be back again today. And today I'm just here for a very short nugget, small one, but very important, very, very important. And I just want to take this opportunity to welcome all the new people. Welcome, and I pray that you're going to get something. I know not everything is for everybody, but whatever is for you, kindly just take it. And my WhatsApp and email are in the description box. In case of any question or you want to speak to me, you can always contact me and I will give you a schedule for it. You're welcome. So today I want to talk about a topic called wedding is not marriage. I know that sounds very funny, but it's the truth. Wedding is not marriage. In fact, wedding and marriage are not even relatives. They are not in the same WhatsApp group. If somebody ask anyone who wedded and then they got married, those two things are not even in the same WhatsApp group. They are so separate. But I like wedding because it allows us to what encourages us to enter the marriage. It used to be the marriage, then the wedding, we would not have any wedding. If we used to first you go through marriage and then you told after 5 years of marriage, now let us wed. Trust me, there would not be any wedding because you would just remember the things you've gone through and there will be no reason to wed. And I'm not saying marriage is bad. It's only that it's a responsibility. It has absolutely nothing to do with the wedding. So what is a wedding? A wedding is simply a social gathering where you invite your relatives and your friends, whatever, neighbors. They gather to witness the vows that you're taking before God, or depending, it can also be a traditional wedding, whatever it is, but it's a gathering of people that you invite. And this is where the problem now comes in. Because sometimes we have not sometimes, many times we have a tendency of inviting people and spending so much money on people who don't even care. I wish I knew this before I got. And I'm saying this because we've been there. We've wedded. And sometimes you ask yourself, who are all those people I invited? Where are they now? Where are they now? So that is what happens, okay? The wedding can be anywhere. A wedding is in a church. Wedding can be in a garden. It can be in a home, a house, as long as, and when I talk about Christian wedding, I don't know about the other religions or other beliefs, I don't know, but let me talk about Christian wedding. So the most important is that the priest or the officiating minister is there to officiate it. So the most important thing in a wedding, and the reason why everybody has gathered there, is the vows, the spiritual part of it, because you want to dedicate this marriage before God, and you want to make these vows before God so that He can help you, and that is the most important thing. But unfortunately for us, the most important thing normally is the celebration, and that is why we concentrate on the celebrations more than the most important thing. Now, Satan has always been a liar. He's a deceiver right from the beginning. When he deceived Eve, he's always been a deceiver. He knows very well. Satan is always against marriage because marriage is an institution that was ordained by God. And he understands that good marriages will mean that society will also be good. In other words, when a marriage is stable, then society is also stable. And Satan understands this very well. That is why he always wants to make sure that already right from the beginning, the marriage is already off so that it becomes unstable, and automatically the society becomes unstable, and it is easy for him to deceive even more people. Now, Satan wants you to concentrate on the wedding. That is why I remember my wedding. I was so consumed with what was going to happen, the carnality of that day, the cake, the dress, who is who, the balloon, the flower, the food, and the what. And I was so consumed for that many months. Some people it's a year, some people whatever it is, to the point that, and I thank God, for me, I thank God that I got married to a good person. But I've seen as a pastor where people get so consumed that they're not even looking out for the red flags. The fact that they've just met this person, they want to marry, immediately their mind goes to the wedding, And You don't watch out for any other thing. In fact, your brain is like your thinking brain, or your wisdom switches off. It's now you're concentrating on the on these celebrations of this day. No, most of the time, if you even ask the lady, because it's us women who love these nice things, celebration, everything. If you ask, now I'm not saying men don't, but we are the ones who are normally more concerned about what color people are going to wear and what will be the theme of the wedding. It is after the wedding that we realize we don't even have chairs in our house. We don't have a cooker to cook. It's when you realize you don't even know where, sometimes you don't even know where you're going to live, or you're going to live in a place that you would otherwise not even want to live. It is that time that you realize, hi, we are in this house, we don't even have a cooking pot. You know, the ones you have are those ones that you use when you're a bachelor or you're a spinster. You know, it is that's the time we start to realize this house does not even have curtains. Okay, I'm not saying this for all people, but most people. Because all our concentration and all our resources and all our fundraisers were all concentrated towards this wedding. May that not be your portion. In Jesus' name. There is a, I don't know, it's a culture or it's a particular tribe in Tanzania. When a lady is about to get married, they have like a pre-wedding. But this pre-wedding, unlike the Kenyan one, the Kenyan pre-wedding is for to look for money to finance the wedding day. But then their pre-wedding is to gather money to buy household items for the bride, so that the bride goes to her house having things. For them, your wedding is your personal business. Them, they want to gather for this pre-wedding to buy for you household things. They want to buy for you cooking things, you know, all the things you need for your house, or at least most of the things you need for the house. And I think that culture is good. I wish that is a culture that would bring, because I have seen in my work as a pastor, I have seen people doing beautiful weddings. Even the bed, they don't have the mattress. It's gone. Doing a very expensive wedding, because remember, this wedding most of the time it is being financed by others, because we formed a culture in Kenya where when you want to wed, you ask people to fundraise, and they will fundraise. You know, people are good. They'll fundraise, even a fundraise up to 500,000, even 1,000,000. Yet, how do you know, sometimes I don't know why, and I was one of those people. I'm not speaking like mine was even better. I was just one of those people. Why would you finance a wedding for 500,000, and yet you're going to live a life that even when you gather everything in your house does not even come to 50,000? Something is off. Something needs to be right. I wish we could change our culture where that fundraising becomes, oh, so and so Catherine is getting married, let us fundraise for her so that she starts her marriage with things. She has chairs, she has a bed, she has utensils, she has, curtains in the house. She has a house even to begin with, even if it's rented, Let's pay for them rent for 3 months so that at least they have a head start. I wish those fundraising were for those kind of things, so that we don't, because most people, trust me, most people are so broke after their wedding. They are so broke. It is us pastors who know these things. We are the ones who always go to rescue some of these things. You feel like slapping someone. You want to say, why were you buying a cake for 50,000? Now you're telling me, are you getting me? So I'm saying this not because I'm discouraging people for fundraising or for wedding, but what I'm trying to tell you is that let us be sober. Let us be sober. Wedding is just a 1 day's thing. It is just a few hours. It is going to end. After that, it is going to be you and him, or her and you if you're a man, in that house. You are not going to go back. It's so funny how the same people invite in your wedding, if you call them a day later or even a month later and tell them, oh, this month I was not paid salary, please, do you have helped me with 15,000, I pay rent, they won't give you. In fact, you'll be the gossip in town. Listen, Be wise. Even when people are giving you money towards your wedding, because that time everybody's generous. Be wise. Be wise. Please, be wise. Be wise. Do your wedding according to your budget, and let us stop all these crazy things of inviting the whole. There are people you I don't know. Listen, let us be wise. Do what fits you. Do what fits you. If your wedding you can only afford 20 people, then so be it. Because at the end of the day, it might only be those 20 people who, if you're in trouble later, who can actually help you, not the 200 and 300 people that you invited. Are you getting me? So let us be wise, like our Western, there are things they do very well. But of course, if you have money, no problem. If you have all the money, there are people who, by the grace of God, they are well off. We thank God for them. But if you don't, like most of us in the society, kindly be wise. You can wed on a Saturday. You can wed on a Sunday, even after service. I've been in a wedding that was done on a Sunday after service because the couple didn't have money, and the way the fundraising was going, it was not going very well. So they decided, no, after service, pastor will just call us. And they were wearing white, and there was a cake, and maybe there was no food, but there was a cake, and the wedding was there, and it happened very well. So there is no one particular way that everybody must wed in this particular way. Even your traditional wedding is a wedding, as long as you're not doing diabolic things. Your pastor, I watched a wedding where the pastor went to the home and married them there. It is allowed. There is no particular way that someone must wed. It is you to choose. Choose according to your body. Choose your wedding. Even if you have a committee, which is okay. We call them committees, people who help us to raise money. Or even if you have a WhatsApp group where you're raising money, in your head, have a plan B. Ask yourself, if nobody gives to us this, what are we going to do? Don't concentrate on that one day, because the bigger picture is what comes behind. It is shameful for you to have a very big wedding. Shameful. Then you go to the house. The only thing you have is what the presents that you're given. And people give up very funny things. You have 1,000 glasses and no sufuria. No, sufuria is a cooking pot, sorry. Are you getting me? I saw someone the other day did a wedding, and they said for you to come to this wedding, you need to pay 1,500 for the food. It's okay. Yeah. You don't have money, so everybody needs to pay for their food the way they pay for food in the restaurant. No, do that. You do something according to what you can, so that we come out of this culture of always getting shocked. Then you go to the marriage, you're very shocked. In your mother's house, you had a television. You go to now you're home, you don't even have one, you can't afford. And yet you had an opportunity. Why can't we have WhatsApp groups where we say, this is our girl, so-and-so is getting married. We want to buy for her a cooker, and we want to buy for her chairs for her wedding. That is when you should have that WhatsApp. Let us come out of this culture, so that we don't get shocked. I'm not against weddings. If you have money, have it as big as you can according to your budget, but let us not do things that don't add up later. Wedding is not marriage. Marriage is a totally different ball game. Wedding is just a day. And it is, Satan is very clever, because it is at this time that people really become enemies. All the people who ever contributed to your wedding, you stop talking to them. It's not even right. Because maybe they don't believe in contributing in weddings. Maybe they just didn't have money. Are you getting me? So it's a time we become enemies with people. It's a time all the quarrels. It's a time all this and that. That means this thing is just carnal. Are you getting me? So if you can't afford something, do something according to your budget. Invite the people that matter. You don't invite people who don't even know our second name. They just come because they understand the daughter of so-and-so is getting married. No, and I'm not saying that marriage should not be celebrated. It's good to celebrate it, but celebrate it according to your budget. But what you should have the thought you should have in your mind is the marriage, not that wedding day. That one ends. I remember when I wedded, in the evening, I went back to our house. That was it. Even the next day, nobody's talking about our wedding. In fact, they're already thinking of the next person who is getting married. Nobody remembers. There is no archive where they say the greatest wedding that ever was. There's no such things. So let us be wise. Let us, even as we are wedding, be wise. Be very, very wise how you use your money. It's better to invest in your in your marriage than to invest in a wedding. You can even pay your rent. You're getting married, pay your rent 6 months in advance, so that at least those first 6 months you're stable, than to go and use all the money to pay for decorations that after the wedding they all come down. Even you yourself, the one who paid for them, you never know where those decorations ever go to, and yet you paid for them. I'm not being mean. I'm just giving us wisdom so that we don't get shocks after the wedding day. In the evening, when you go, you don't even have food. You start wondering if there's any food that remained in the reception. You start asking your new husband or new wife, were you given any money? That envelope, remove it. Let us now go to the supermarket. It's funny. My prayer is that we can change our culture. That is my prayer, that we can change our culture and instead invest in the marriage, even as we celebrate the wedding. May God give you wisdom, even as you plan your wedding, because it's going to happen. In Jesus' name, amen.